We're back this week with Stephanie Dobson. Stephanie is a local lawyer and mediator here in Lloydminster. Stephanie, this is kind of a special episode for us. We've been talking about divorce now for several months, several different subjects, but this week was a viewer request of a topic they wanted to hear. And we're going to be talking about separation agreements. So first of all, tell me a little bit about the viewer request process and how you would like to go forward from here with people actually giving you requests for things to talk about.
Sure. I always love hearing from people as to what they want to hear about. That's the whole goal of this TV segment, is to give people some tips as they're going through their separation and divorce. So you can either go onto our website. We do have a contact form specifically on the page that has all of our TV segments on it, but there's also a contact form on every page of our website, and that sends us an email directly. And I believe, Stacey, you guys also have a way, if people contacted the TV station, you'll get a hold of me and let me know what the topic is.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Stephanie. People can message us through our social media as well. And the requested topic from the viewer this week was separation agreements. So, Stephanie, let's start by explaining what exactly is a separation agreement.
Yeah, that's a perfect place to start. So when people are finalizing their separation and divorce related issues, there's two types of documents that you can have. One is a court order, and one is a separation agreement. So the separation agreement is what we're focusing on here today. So that's a document that both you and your former spouse will sign. Sometimes it's signed by your lawyers, depending on the topic. There's some legal requirements that too much detail to go into today, but there's some legal requirements around who has to actually sign the document. But it's really, there's a variety of topics. Basically, it's a guidebook of how your post-separation lives are going to look.
Well, now, Stephanie, let's talk about some of those topics that would be in an agreement. What kind of things would you see?
There's usually 4 to 5 topics that are sort of the main topics. The first one is the parenting plan. So that's the plan that you and your co-parent are going to make around the kiddos. So decision-making responsibilities, time sharing, and those sorts of things around the kids. The second topic is child support, that of course relates to the support of the children post-separation or divorce. And then continuing on with the finances, the third one is spousal support. So how are each of the spouses going to make sure that they can survive financially outside of the relationship? Fourth is the division of your assets and debts. So there's the household contents, the blender and the toaster, of course, but then there's the big things like who's going to keep the house or will it be sold, the vehicles, investment accounts, bank accounts, that sort of thing that gets divided. The last thing is a maybe topic. There's a lot of people that I meet with that really have a hard time communicating. And so in a lot of the separation agreements that I do, we like to talk about a communication plan to make sure that your kiddos aren't caught in the middle of conflict between two parents.
Stephanie, why would a set of parents who are separating or going through this process, why would they need this agreement?
There's a variety of reasons. The first one, let's talk about the most important, which is the kids. And a lot of times parents, as I was just mentioning, have a hard time communicating. And so it's really advantageous if you have a detailed parenting plan within your separation agreement that helps parents to figure out how are they going to co-parent post-separation so that they can work out that conflict with their professionals' help before they embark on this separated two-home parenting. The second is with respect to I call it that line in the sand. So it's making sure that your I's are dotted, T's are crossed, your property, your assets and debts have been divided in a way that you can acquire assets or incur debts post-separation in a way that you're not necessarily going to have to share with your spouse post-separation. Now, there are some times where lenders, third parties like lenders, might require a separation agreement. So that's another good reason to do it. So if you're, for example, looking to refinance the home, a lender is going to say, you're separating? Okay, it's on our checklist that says you need a separation agreement. So you might need to check as to whether those kind of obligations as well.
And Stephanie, when it comes to the lenders, they need the agreement. Is it basically for their own paperwork and so they kind of know what's going on? Is that the main reason, or are there other specific reasons that they also may require that?
every lender is different as to why they require that separation agreement. There's two main reasons that I want to talk about today. So the first one has to do with income and expenses. So the lender is looking for what your income will be post-separation. So of course that comes from employment or whatever your regular job is, but it can also there's some lending programs which actually will incorporate spousal support and or child support as part of your income to help you to qualify for your loan if you're looking to refinance something. They also want to know if you're on the paying side of support. They also want to know what your obligations are, because that will of course affect your ability to qualify. On the property side, on the assets and debt side, sometimes there are assets or debts that are in joint names currently, but after the separation agreement has been signed, those debts or assets are not going to be in your name, or they're going to be in your name alone. And so that separation agreement will help to clarify those kind of things. Sometimes when they look at your credit report, they'll say, okay, it looks like there's a debt that's in your name, and you can say, no, my former spouse is going to be taking that over. So the separation agreement really sets that out. I want to leave with this topic with a tip, though. I always recommend to my clients that they take their draft agreement before they actually sign that separation agreement, that they actually take that to their lender and say, look, if the circumstances were such that I signed on the dotted line here, would I qualify? Because we can sometimes get into that chicken and the egg scenario. The lender says, I can't qualify you until you sign it. And you say, well, I can't agree to keep the house until I know if I've qualified. So the draft agreement can really help in working together with your lender to get them all the information and to start that qualification process, even though it can't be finalized.
Well, Stephanie, this has been enlightening as per usual. There's so much information that you don't realize you need when it comes to divorce and separation. So if somebody wants more information or have questions for you, Stephanie, or topic suggestions, what's the best way to reach you?
As always, they can go onto our website at henkadivorce.ca or call our office 780-875-2234.
All right, well, thanks so much, Stephanie, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.